had this many people in my studio, I wouldn't know what the hell to do.
Don't worry, we don't either.
They show on your side, right?
Fingering the sushi.
What? We'll get to the sushi. Relax.
No, eggplant sandwich.
Don't touch the fish, okay?
Can't. Bad Kenneth.
The Dirty Dowdy Podcast is for an adult audience. The Dirty Dowdy Podcast may contain material that may be unsuitable for sensitive ears. Listener discretion is advised. It's the Dirty Dowdy Podcast.
Well, all eyes are on me. It's Dirty Dowdy Podcast here in the Longbox.FM studios, brought to you by Riley's Brewing.
Thanks, Riley.
Thanks, Riley.
Thank you, Riley.
Oh, man, I'm so excited for tonight's show. Before we go to any of that stuff, you can find us, call us, any of the things. The phone number, 492-0450. If you're in the chat room, Cotty will be talking to you back and forth in the YouTube chat room. All this can be found on Longbox.FM. If you're hearing me right now, then you're already there, or you're listening to it later. Never mind. We also have the Skype, so Longbox.FM on Skype, and you can contact us, get your video on, and chat with our guests tonight. I'll get to in a second. I do want to push the Make Fresno Better hashtag, which I think that we did a good job of that with the 80-31 election that went down. It's official as of, like 8:03 last night, apparently official. Joaquin Arambula won outright, 52%. It's 52% to 46, and then Ted was in the back end.
5.7.
Yeah. Congrats. He did win. Please,
So, Chris,
please.
before you keep going, do you know how much percentage you gave you there, by the way?
Huh?
You gave us 105%. It was 42%.
Thanks, Captain Math over there.
You're welcome.
Either way, I hope Joaquin does do something, make us proud. You're in there now, so don't take advantage of it. And that now I'm done with election stuff. Let's fire off real quick with things we learned this week.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, it's time to showcase what we have learned in the last week.
Molestar.
I learned that if you place a picture of Hillary Clinton in your bathroom, opposite the toilet, it will cure minor constipation. Now, I don't know the science behind it, but there's just something about seeing her face that makes it really easy to take a shit.
Okay.
That just cured my life's ailments right there.
Alex.
I learned that I've only lived in Fresno for 13 years, and Chris Dowdy has lived in Fresno for 30-some odd years. And I know more of Fresno's geography than he does.
More like 50 years.
Uh-oh.
I don't like this.
He doesn't understand the concept of how downtown works. It's amazing that he's lived here for that long, and he's all about being Fresno and making it better, but doesn't know how downtown works.
Well, let me explain what I learned this week. Alex is the worst version of a GPS that you can ever have.
It's pretty awesome.
Last night, guiding me around while I was on the phone, and then today when we went and picked up the other thing I learned, fantastic sushi by Roll One for Me on Cedar and Shepherd. They were lovely enough to give us a whole platter that's sitting in front. No, Kenneth, sitting in front of Kenneth,
hands down.
We will be.
But it's there.
We'll be diving into these rolls here shortly, but yes, as we got in the car, Alex is the most annoying GPS because he'll tell you to turn left as you're turning left, and as you're sitting at a red light, he'll tell you to turn left 3 or 4 times in that red light
Because you might forget.
Yeah, I hate you so much.
Did you do that thing where you're driving and he's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to turn left back there?
No. I tell him ahead of time, but I tell him 6 times ahead of time.
Well, Alex isn't a wife. That doesn't...
He can't be worse than a robotic woman voice that the GPS has by default, can he?
Apparently he is.
I hate the robotic
I'm just
voice.
calling him a cocksucker the whole time. So that
My GPS does that by default.
So, anything else we learned this week?
I didn't learn something new. I kind of relearned something. As far as the sick and the injured are concerned, care and compassion, I don't have those things.
But you're a mom.
That's why she doesn't have them.
You're a really bad mom? You just admitted that on air.
I did.
Okay.
That's why she's the show mom. sushi.
Look at my children. This is
Yeah.
what
They're
I've done.
alive, so you know.
This
They
is
made
right.
it this far.
I got a quick one.
Yes.
I learned that coffee has the same effect as drinking it as when you spill it in your lap. It'll wake you the fuck up.
McDonald's?
Yes. And all over my crotch while I was driving. It was too hot, so my genius brain thinks, well, maybe if I take the lid off, it'll cool off faster for a second.
Did it?
Yeah, all over my dick. So that
you can't
was
even
fun.
sue either. That's
So
No.
Tinder doesn't work anymore for him.
No, I have to resign my career.
Did the hot coffee have an effect on that embarrassing box you call a convertible outside?
No, the leather it actually worked pretty good. It just went all over my crotch and absorbed all into that instead.
There's a lot of real estate there. There are, and if anybody happens to be stalking us outside, there are two fantastic convertibles outside. Jason's box convertible. That's
break into that one.
It looks
Yeah.
like a toy car.
Pimpmobile.
You can't really break into something that's open top at the moment.
And then there's the super convertible that was driven by one of our guests tonight, Ray Appleton. How you doing tonight?
I am wonderful.
I'm super stoked that we now have like the voice of KMJ 580 sitting in my house.
Yeah.
So
Wait until you get to Bill.
that will be Kenneth right there. You'll want to forward everything to him.
Yeah, I've got all the
He's the
money
money
that
guy,
he
right?
doesn't have.
Yeah. And we have another guest tonight too, the man who brings us the beer or sends the beer our way. Dan Riley, how you doing?
Doing fantastic.
You looking forward to tonight?
I am. I have absolutely no idea what you have planned, so that's
Oh,
perfect.
Well,
Neither do we.
Yeah, in the same boat as us.
I'll tell you what. The reason that Dan was here, we were talking on the phone a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned that I'm hoping to get Ray Appleton on the show, and I just heard you on his show as a guest there, and you said, "Well, let me know when he's coming in because I want to be there." And I said, "Okay, April 6th." And he went, "Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Cool." And now that's a done deal.
Oh, this is in my honor that he's here?
Yes.
Oh, I'm truly stoked.
Yeah.
That's why I had to
Give me the root beer.
It's bromantic.
Now he's stoked.
Yeah.
It's a broman.
And I brought Dan in, and I locked my mom out, who's just been hounding me all week. So what's Ray gonna like? What are you gonna talk about? You should try these questions for him, and she loves you, Ray. So you won't meet her
Everybody's
tonight.
mother loves me.
That's right.
Fathers and mothers, I'm a big hit.
Whoa.
Even my mom was excited.
Oh, that's
You
true.
stay away from my mom.
Oh, wait, they're all listening, aren't they?
Yeah, it got announced that
I date out of my demo, so there's no worries.
it was announced that you were going to be on the show, Ray, and Cotty's mom and dad were like, "This is pretty important. Your show or Chris's show is becoming pretty big because Ray is a very important guy in the Valley," and was like, "Your
I
parents
just
love
heard it
me."
was free food, and I said, "Yeah, man."
They don't love you.
Free
they love
food,
your
free
show.
beer, yeah.
This will bring us into the upper dozens of listeners.
Oh yeah, thanks, Teresi.
He's probably
My
going to be here tomorrow.
my mom almost showed up just now.
Really?
Yeah.
We might have a lineup of moms outside.
Only if she brings enchiladas.
So Ray,
She brings enchiladas.
You get the root beer, the hard root beer, the sushi, and then if you want, you can go out and there's a lineup of moms waiting for you.
I'm so happy I'm here.
Gaggle of mothers.
Either way, you'll end up with something
Yeah.
fishy in your mouth.
We do have some.
Thanks, Jason.
And on that note,
And there we go.
He was
we
the
have a cougar in the fridge, I think.
he was the only one I didn't give the pre-show like, okay, don't do this, or this because we have someone very
He
important.
doesn't have a
tonight.
filter, so you
Yeah.
didn't have a
We wouldn't.
chance.
That's real apparent.
There was a reason he was locked in his room for last week's debate. So
It wasn't by choice.
Can you go back?
yeah, Jason, go back on the break.
Okay, bye.
We're gonna take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're gonna be interviewing Ray Appleton. We have some fun things coming up with this. We're gonna talk to him. We're gonna talk to Dan Riley. We have special questions lined up for everyone. Ray, we have a game that we're gonna play to get to know you. Ray name drops,
All right.
and because it's a huge hit here with our fans and with our crew tonight, we're gonna do a round of Rockin' Walkin',
Ooh.
and
New
we got some
ones.
brand new ones.
Hell yeah.
What is
So-
that?
Oh, you'll find out.
Put the picture up. Does
Yeah.
that come
It's worth
with
it.
his photo?
I'll just wait and find out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you're going to love this. So all that's going on here. It's the Dirty Dowdy Podcast on Longbox.FM. Oh, yeah. Calm down with the pictures. Watch the overtop, guys.
oh look, not a dry seat.
The first time I was here, they had adult. It was like adult Mad Libs,
Yeah,
Psycho.
sure.
You guys had going on.
You're listening
I remember it was like that. It was like you had to guess what the name was. Name
You
of
would
the
know.
teams. I was like, holy cow.
That was probably one of his games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Dowdy Podcast on Longbox.FM.
For a sushi experience like no other, just say, roll one for me. Japanese cuisine expertly prepared and beautifully served in a fun, family-friendly environment. Make your next lunch or dinner unique. Roll one for me, a sushi joint on Champlain and Shepherd.
The Dirty Dowdy Podcast is back here on Longbox.FM, brought to you by Riley's Brewing.
Thanks, Riley.
Thanks again, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Brought to you by Dan. All right, so the guest of the night, the first guest. Sorry, Dan, you're kind of second chair here.
Hey, I take no offense to that.
Yeah, see, you respect, you understand. Ray Appleton. You got famous from being the voice of Storyland, right?
Well, I wouldn't say I got famous from doing that.
I thought that was a thing.
I've been, I don't know how many years they've been running those old tapes of mine. I cut them in the KMJ studio probably about 16, 17 years ago.
So when
you put the little key in there and you hear the silly voices, that's me. Mm-hmm. That's me.
That was a shock for my mind the first time I heard. Took my son there, and it was like, oh, that's Ray.
I never, ever have heard them until Storyland just reopened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I made them give me a key so I could hear myself because I had no idea what it sounded like. And it sounds like shit. It's terrible. It's just the worst. It's not digital. It's all analog stuff. And it sounds terrible, so I'm hoping I can raise them some money so we can go digital,
Well, it's not like they have Bose speakers going in those little metal boxes.
No, I don't think I have any speakers in there.
Just a smaller guy in there, just getting poked
volunteer.
by a stick.
So no, the real start here. You are the man on KMJ, and I apologize to anyone else on there, but let's be honest. You've been there for now 29 years?
It'll be 29 in October. We'll start the 30th year, yeah.
And now I've got a little insight from you. I tried looking you up on Wikipedia, all that stuff, to get whatever I could. I heard that it was hard to find information about you. And
intentionally.
Right. You're either Ray Appleton, the guy I can't find, or you're Otis Ray the Hammer Appleton, some drummer, and
It's a black guy who's a drummer up in Canada. He's a very famous jazz artist, and his name's Ray Appleton.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're that
You're
guy.
a jazz drummer.
I see the resemblance.
Can you give us, for anyone who doesn't know, just a quick backstory, your start, and how you got to where you are now?
Well, oddly enough, it's mostly all been here. I started in about 1968 over in Salinas. I was living in SoCal, California, and I'd moved over there right after high school because I was going to be the big rock and roll star like everybody, does. And one of the guys I lived with was a disc jockey at KDON in Salinas. And so on Friday nights, they would break from the top 40 format, and they would do all these like album cuts and all that. And I would go hang out with him, just go to the studio with him and hang out and just watch. And the long and the short of it is he got very sick. He picked up hepatitis. Let's not talk about that during the 60s. And he couldn't work. And so his general manager called me and says, hell, you've been there long enough. You do it. And so I just got thrown on with no prep, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow.
And that's literally the truth.
Sounds like us here at the show.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
You'll do fine. Get on the air.
So we're set to go.
I mean, prior to that, there was a closed circuit radio station that was operated by the Veterans Administration that was in the Veterans Hospital. And I would work there playing music for the guys that were like coming back from Vietnam. They were all blown to hell. And it was a lot of fun doing that.
All right. Now, I also heard that K-Fig, you did some work there.
I was there for 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a life without radio?
No, because that's the only thing I've ever done. I've never had a real job. I wouldn't know what the hell to do. I mean, wow. I
guess the next question is if you weren't doing radio, what would you do? I should just push that one aside.
Drink.
Well, seriously, I pursued a degree in zoology So I would assume I'd be doing something like that, whatever that is, you know.
I believe zoology is cleaning up the shit.
I was a volunteer at the zoo for 14 years, and that's what I did.
Well, then you did it all the time.
I think you did that job then.
Well, you pretty much are working that second career, though, right? I heard about the 200-gallon salt tank with $3,000 to $4,000 worth of fish, and you have approximately 3.5 million cats at your house.
I got 4.5 million.
4 million.
It's radio. We'll just exaggerate a little bit.
3
here.
dogs. But it was 7 dogs for a while. I just got rid of 4 of them, moved them on after having them for a million years. And
so are you what do you call so sorry here.
Word.
Izzy, Gus and Izzy, and she's a big adopter of animals, cats. Are you actively involved in the adoption of stray animals and finding homes?
Yeah, I mean, if I see something walking down the street that looks like it needs a home, I just pull over, open the door, and say, hop in.
That's my Tinder motto.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that only applies to cats and not homeless people.
No, not humans. No.
Yeah,
no.
you got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been that way.
Well, I don't consider them humans, so.
That one. I apologize. I thought this one was going to be the bad one tonight. It's that corner.
Jason's doing just fine.
You don't need me for this.
I heard that you had a little stint as some sort of record executive.
Well, I worked at A&M very briefly. A&M Records, and a couple of stints. It was mostly part-time stuff, project work. I was the publicist for a group called Supertramp for a while. Did a couple of world tours with them and had a lot of fun.
Nice.
Are you a fan of the HBO show Vinyl?
Oh, yeah.
So it's that similar...
Yeah, it's very, very absolutely like that.
Awesome.
The first couple of episodes I watched, it was just like, wow, I was back on the lot in L.A. at A&M again. It was just like, this is like too real.
Yeah, I'm digging that show. The eras, this is kind of where I was going with this. The eras of, you just talked about those times, that TV show is amazing, but radio has their own version of their eras too. And we were talking before the show how I got started in things. And my start was 2009 at local station here. And I was so excited to go in and be able to do blow off the mixer and just have nudity all around me. And then when I walked in, I was severely disappointed that it was not that at all. I guess I missed it by a couple decades.
Put your clothes back on.
You did. I used to walk in and have nudity all around me.
All right, Kenneth, shirt off.
All right, let's slow down.
No.
Do you? Screw you guys.
For you, what's the best era in radio?
Oh, I loved it when it was back in the old FM days when the progressive music thing was happening. Album oriented rock, they called it. That was a ball. Just play anything you want. I did.
What's some of your favorite moments, like you're sitting around the campfire to your closest friends and you get to just tell that story? What would you pull?
Oh, God, there have been so many.
Wait, before you do that, you actually got to play your own music? Or it was all...
Well, whatever I wanted to play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the vinyls. Just slap it down.
Yeah, we had 3 turntables and we just go.
It wasn't a pre-programmed playlist by demographics the station seemed to like?
No. This was pre-consultants and all of that, pre-research, just no. I mean, that's when like FM was like new. It was like the thing. And it was the thing for music. It had been dominated by AM radio and top 40 for so long. FM kind of fought back, went in a different direction. Played like, album cuts. And I loved it.
FM said, F that.
Yeah.
So,
write it down.
Yep. When would you consider, when would you call out, don't want to word it this way, but the death of radio or the end of the fun, in a sense?
Oh, sure. For me, it was 1980.
Sorry, I was born then, so I killed it.
Yeah, way to go, Daddy.
I was working at an AC station, and it was just consultants. And I went back over to England. I travel over there a lot and lived there for a while and did radio and TV there. This was before that, though. And I visited, I came from a very structured, formatted life, which I was into at that time. And I visited the radio stations over there in London, like Capital Radio and all of them. And they were just like back where I was, 10, 15 years before that. And they were doing very well with it. I said, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Just forget about it. So I started making a segue then into talk radio, which finally became like a full-time gig in 86.
When your first full-time, you're starting to talk radio, was it just straight politics right from the beginning?
Well, it actually started in England, and much of radio over there is music and talk radio. It's all one thing. So you have to be well-versed in everything and also know music and all that. So the talk career sort of started there. I came back because my mother was ill, and I thought I was going to be here for just a very short time. And John Brodsky, who's still with us at KMJ, was running the place then, and he called me and he said, do it here for a bit, and, just do it and then go back when you have to. And I'm still doing it 29 years later. The day I started was October the 19th, 1987, Black Monday. The market crashed. That was my first day on the air at KMJ.
So you had a shockwave of your own.
Oh, yeah. It was like, people were throwing themselves off of buildings and killing themselves and their whole families because their portfolios were gone.
Did you think, thank God I have something to talk about now?
Yeah.
What am I going to talk about?
That hadn't happened since 1929, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first day on KMJ, was the death of the market.
How the hell do you do your show?
With my mouth.
You idiot,
God
Chris.
No,
shut up, Jason.
I know
about it.
I know what I put in for this show. That's a once a week. I've talked with Philip before about what he puts in, and we've had various radio people in. But 5 days a week to talk about serious stuff like politics for 3 hours. What prep? What do you do?
Well, you got to love it. Number one. I mean, if you don't love it, you won't do it. You can't do it. You can't be honest. You can't be normal and sound real. But I have a producer who, frankly, does most of the footwork, finds everything that I need for the day, loads it all up, highlights the stuff I should pay attention to. I go over it, figure out the order that I'm going to do it in my head. I do like a little rough outline, and I just take it in and go.
Okay, so I need to get a producer. Sorry. If you were going to build your own radio station, you have your own rules, you can do whatever you want. How would you structure it?
What do you mean? Well, structure how? What do you mean? Formatically or what?
Yeah, music, talk, whatever it is. How would you put something together? Like you were talking about back in the day when it was talk and radio, versus now you've got a minute. You gotta say this played, this is coming up. By the way, be at this event. These are our call letters, and now I have like 20 seconds to say something funny. How would you structure something?
He wants to know how to make this successful.
No, is this successful? You're killing my market.
I mean, if I would, I'm a bottom line kind of guy, so I would have to go with it. Another talk format. That's what I would do. That's the only thing I know now. So I would just put together a talk station. It'd be that's kind of a nothing burger question, because KMJ is so successful at just current events. We don't pre-book a lot of anything. Mm-hmm. Flying by the seat of your pants, radio without a safety net, we used to call it. I love that. It's exhilarating for me every day. So if I were to start my own radio station, that's what it would be.
Just get good voices in there and say go?
Not even good voices. I mean, the best people that in the talk format come out of rock radio. Every one of them has. Mm-hmm. So I'd find, some old fossilized rock and roll disc jockeys and say, you can do it, believe me, and stick them in there. And then they go, oh, God, I'm having a ball. You're right.
So did you have any impact or influence on Chris Daniel when he came to the station initially?
I lobbied like a mother for him to get hired, yeah.
Oh, you can say it. You can go all the way with that one.
Yeah,
like a line of mothers.
They'll be here in about 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. Some of them are setting up camp right now.
Yeah, I knew he wanted to get into the format. And I think I pushed for like 2 years. Hire the guy. He's going to be good.
Yeah, that was a mind fuck for me, because I grew up.
It was for a lot of people.
Yeah, KRZR. You got that guy who's leading that crew, and then you turn on KMJ one day, and you're just like, huh? What? Like,
my only concern, and he won't mind me saying this, was his alcoholism. I wanted to make really sure with my company that was all gone. And I talked to him one time. I've known him forever, and I knew that it was. I could just tell by talking to him. Oh, okay, you've been off for years. You're ready. Let's do it.
That was actually one of the. I caught that one day, hearing him talk. Now, this is my early days of being in radio, so I thought radio was supposed to be a certain way, the way you presented yourself on air. Hearing him talk about AA and promoting it and talking about his experiences, blew me away, and it was so real and honest and totally against what I thought radio was supposed to, and I loved it.
No, but that's why it works. That's why I work. That's why he works. We are who we are, and that's what the radio audience gets.
Perfect.
Genuine.
I mean, there's no facade. There's no character that you develop. You just go on and be yourself. That's it.
I absolutely agree. Love you. And question for you. This was actually presented by last week's guest, Ted Miller. He said that you may be a partial owner of a World War II bomber.
Yeah.
And that I should tell you that you'd love the big fat sound. And that should get you to enjoy, I don't know.
The big fat sound?
That Ted Miller was on a roll last week.
Should tantalize something.
Is that some chick he was dating or what?
Sorry, Ted, that one didn't work.
Well, I mean, he's probably talking to the run-up of the engines, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was all about the engines.
Yeah, I did a Mitchell bomber, B-25, and that's what I do. And it's, the run-up of those engines, I just...
So you actually fly airplanes?
I fly right seat occasionally.
Oh,
It's like a co-pilot. Kind of a winky arrangement, you know?
So you're not quite what is the guitarist of Iron Maiden with your own 740?
I'm not a pilot like he is. That guy's he's the man.
Well,
I love that guy.
He did just hit somebody.
Flies
the other day.
everybody around, you know. And
doesn't he have like a couple? He's got at least one PhD, doesn't he?
He's a smart dude, and I don't know what it is, but he's got various degrees.
Exactly.
And he's a commercial airline pilot.
Incredibly
plus the lead
talented.
singer for the group. And he just literally flies them around and puts on his little uniform, his little captain's uniform. It's hysterical.
Lined up with tattoos.
I saw him in Heathrow one time, and I grabbed him, and I said, "This is for real." He goes, "Oh, you're fucking right, it's for real. What do you mean?" I said, "You wear the whole thing, you know." And we actually talked for about an hour. It was great. But, he's really into planes. Deluxe.
Who are going with that, and this is going to lead into something here in a little bit after the break. Some of your favorite interviews, whether on air or just you had a chance to meet that person or people. Have you had a moment where you were just looking at somebody going, "I can't believe I'm here"?
Yeah, well, there was one time when I had President Clinton on. And it was a day. This is so weird. It was a day that Red China, Communist China, has shot missiles over Free China. It was like a warning. And he didn't know about it. And he was in the state of California with the Vice President Al Gore to fire up the internet down in Los Angeles for the public schools. So that's what he's ostensibly on the air to talk about, why he's in L.A. And I said, Mr. President, before we get going here, I have to ask you about, what China did this morning. I mean, he wasn't aware. He didn't know. And so I'm telling the president what happened, and you could hear he's getting pissed off because the radio guy knows more than he does. He's like, "Why wasn't I told about why? Oh, I'm here to talk about the internet." And no, Mr. President, China launched missiles over Taiwan, and he wasn't briefed yet. So, and then the Fresno Bee runs this big headline story the next day about how I dissed the president. I'm like, what the hell? I did him a damn favor. I did his security briefing for the day on the air.
In his defense, he couldn't read about it on the internet at the time.
Yeah, he hadn't turned it on.
So that was like, I was just sitting there kind of laughing and talking with my producer at the time off air going, I can't believe I'm telling this fucking guy, what he should already know. He's the president of the United States, for crying out loud.
Damn. That's an ace card right there.
Now you've been talking, you posted something on Facebook here in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And you talked about it today.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many interviews you've done in your life. I don't know if anyone's ever led, but I want to say, Ray Appleton, can you tell me about your colon?
Well, I may have colon cancer.
Yeah.
It's probably a pretty good bet that I do. I flunked a test.
Can you explain that test?
Well,
kind of.
It's a gross one.
Explain it slowly.
We're all down.
Yeah.
Very seriously, if they find DNA in your crap, it's trouble. And I scored a very high positive of DNA, and it usually means one thing. So about the 25th of this month, I'll go back on the hospital, and they will take a look-see, and they'll have like a surgeon standing by in case, if it's bad, that he can go in and do whatever he has to do. It's still all pretty much up in the air. I just don't really, I haven't thought about it a lot other than
right
Big deal.
now.
Who cares? What I hate.
Sorry.
Like I was saying on the air today, what I hate is I hate the downtime when I'm sick. I go crazy. I can't stand it. So I made the arrangements today that if it's cancer and they have to resect my bowel and do all this dumb shit, that I will do my show from home. And that'll keep my sanity, so.
And then if you have a band show,
if I have a what,
or if you have a performance with the Appletones, that you will have to hold off on the surgery or something.
We're timing it. We've got one show at the Tower Theater the 22nd of this month with Y&T. That's almost sold out, by the way. Go get your tickets. And then we're doing another show at Abcal on the 21st of May with this incredible Bowie impersonator. It's this Bowie tribute that's just outrageous. Very good. Darren is spending some money. And so I'm trying to get everything done in that little period there that has to be done so I can hit those gigs.
Well, you were part of why you posted the Facebook message. You were talking about the past couple times that you've had issues in the past few years.
Yeah.
And I love hearing the story, and please share with our audience about
the rumors that started?
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, I had a stroke in 2001, December the 15th, right after I had a Christmas party at my house. It was literally, I threw Jerry Tarkanian out. I said, Coach, you got to go home. You got to go home. And I hopped.
Was he eating your towels?
No. I offered him one soaked with vodka, and he kind of sucked on that all night. But
good.
We got rid of him, and then I hopped into my bed with my then wife at the time, and it was about an hour later I woke up, and I couldn't walk and I couldn't talk. I mean, I was just like frozen in time. And I'm trying to hit her, but I can't move anything. So I'm jumping around the bed like a fish, and she finally, what the hell is up there? And then she threw on the lights and could see my face had like slid on the left side. She goes, we're going now. So we go to the hospital, and that's the first real experience I had with rumors. I mean, oh my God, they just ran rampant until I was back on the air. And I put myself back on the air intentionally like 5 weeks later. I still couldn't talk well at all. But just to say, hey, cut it out, I'm fine, But literally, I was told by the vocational therapist, you're going to have to find a new job because you're not going to be able to talk. And I'm like, no fucking way.
Up your ass, lady.
And but still, there's some of that with me to this day because there are still certain words I can't say. They're just gone, so I can spell them out, but I can't say them, Brain is a weird thing, so I don't use them. One example is the word, and this will kill you, TYPEWRITER.
Typewriter.
Yeah.
I
can't do it.
No muscle memory in the mouth.
And for the longest time, I couldn't say, and this is still kind of hard, Osama bin Laden. I lost that.
Well, luckily, both of those are things that no longer exist.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it again.
And I couldn't. Now I'm going off on tangents. Now I couldn't read aloud for 3 years. You know how you pick up something and read. Mm-hmm. I could read it to myself, but I couldn't read it aloud. And then it just came back one day. We were on Tahiti, and I was looking at a menu on the ship, and my wife at the time goes, "What's for dinner?" And I went, "Oh, okay." Blah 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 blah. She goes, "You're reading." And I'm like, oh, my God. Just that moment, it came back,
How many times did you read that menu?
I kept it. I still have it. And then the other time was 2010, 2011. They think it was West Nile virus. I was out at the Civil War reenactment doing that thing, and I just went, dunk. My kidneys shut down. My brain was very swollen, had encephalitis, and I was like in a coma for about a week. And the story's there. CBS had fired me because I was too conservative. I was found dead, and the police couldn't tell if it was murder or suicide.
Oh, my God.
My late mother loved that one.
Man, people are dicks.
By the way, in what way do you die where they don't know if it was murder or suicide?
Do you want to find out?
Well, the Democratic side is against me right now, so it may happen.
So I'm very forthcoming about this next chapter of my life, so that just doesn't start up again.
So you've had 2 tremendous health events in your life, and you're looking at number 3 right now.
Yeah, kind of weird.
And you surround yourself with cats. Maybe you've invested 9 lives into yourself?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, I do have a question then. Not that we've presented ourselves super well, but just give us a chance and let this soak in for the rest of the night. While you're on the outs there, getting recovered from KMJ, maybe consider bringing in just some outside show to take over for you from.
Oh, you want to jump in there and try?
Now, if you're offering, I guess. Are we free next week?
There's a good and the bad here. The good is, your audience is going to be so happy when you're back.
Oh yeah.
The bad news,
that might not be good news.
you may not have an audience when you come back, but
they all say that
it's a gamble. But I mean, just put that in the back of your head.
Well, we'll use
bit.
This for your demo. I'll give it to Blake and say, "Here's a guy that would like to replace me when I'm down." We'll see what he says.
Is this your job?
Can I get Can I get the rejection notice now?
No, you could do it.
Oh no,
you could easily do it.
Well, then we'll talk. We'll talk.
He's the sidekick.
Ray is very, very polite. I like it. I'll tell you what, let's take ourselves a little bit of a break so everybody can refresh. I know that Kenneth has been eyeballing that sushi now for about 40 minutes.
He's not alone.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're going to dive into sushi from Roll One for Me. It's on Cedar and Shepherd. Fantastic. Steve's out there. He's actually, Steve, I'll talk about him at some point later on, but he was actually the start of the Dirty Dowdy Podcast 7 years ago, coming up on 420. So we'll be talking more about sushi, more with Ray. We're going to be doing Ray name drops. We're going to get to know Riley a little bit better and his beer, and I'm sure as the night goes along you're going to get Kenneth and know what his beer does to somebody. This is the Dirty Dowdy Podcast here on Longbox.FM.
Listening to the Dirty Dowdy Podcast on Longbox.FM. This segment of the show is brought to you by Riley's Brewing, local made craft brews for any occasion. Try our Sancha, Cougar, or the all-new Riley's Hard Root Beer today.
The Dirty Dowdy Podcast is back here at Longbox.FM, brought to you by Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Cheers,
Dan.
Okay, so
cheers.
I got a good lecture outside from my crew who they let me know that I need to stop being a fanboy and we need to have fun now. So, Ray, I apologize.
I said fangirl.
Fangirl, yeah.
You are being very fangirl.
You haven't been a fanboy. Relax.
I've been saying
his seat's a little wet.
I'm super stoked that you're here in my studio.
It's fun, yeah.
This is one of those.
Everybody said this was fun. That's why I did it.
Well, actually, I got that clip from you. I'm just going to put it in our normal rotation at all times, where you were talking with Clint Olivier, talking about the show and how it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got an endorsement from you, and it's free public radio, right? So I don't have to pay you for that.
It's going to drive it till the wheels fall off.
Well, let's talk real quick here with Dan Riley. Just because we want to find out more about you, Riley's Brewing, all the stuff that you got coming up, the different brands of brew, and then I want to hear a little bit about the high-speed rail and the stuff that you were going through.
He's into a huge mess, man. That's an amazing story.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to ask me that, so okay, cool.
Well, it's important.
It's huge. Man, where do I start? Ray and I were just talking about, too, about where to go next. So, a couple of years ago, the High Speed Rail Authority contacted me and let me know that they were going to take the easternmost and southernmost part of my property at my shop. So they didn't do a full acquisition, so they just did a partial. The problem was the partial was my entrance. Well, in addition to Riley's Brewing, I own Steel Structures. So Steel Structures is what's called a heavy shop. So we do like large vessels and tanks and silos. And we get things up around 24 feet in diameter, CHP escorts, get out of our way. We're going down the middle of the road, and we've just had some stuff go out of the yard. The actually longest load I've ever hauled just recently actually was 118 feet long.
Damn.
With a rear steering trailer, yeah. So when we have that, we usually have 5 highway patrol, and there's usually a lieutenant on that job. And then we'll have Caltrans, we'll have PG&E, and we'll have Comcast, sometimes Pac Bell, and they'll be out front raising wires when we come through. So if you can get that in your head, yeah. And now they want to put a bridge in front of my shop that's 34 feet tall. So the
idiots.
The original plan was, and they want to offer me $252,000 total for the whole place. So the original plan was that the bridge was a standard car ramp. It would be standard in, commercial loading, the 12-foot standard lanes, all that good stuff. I won't bore you with all the details. Reality was it would put me out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So I employ, right now I'm running about 30 people in the shop. I can run up to 40 people. We consume about 100,000 pounds of steel a month. And we ship stuff out of the state, sometimes out of the country, all over the area. And we have robotics, we have submerged arc welders, we've got lots of things going on. So I didn't really want to go out of business. I'm also third generation. Grandpa ran it, started with the sawmill at the welding shop.
You don't want to go out of business.
I do not want to go out of business. What a novel concept, huh?
Holy shit. You can get a lot of assistance from the government, especially in California.
Yeah. I go on welfare, just kick back and relax, huh? So
why not? Everybody else does.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how Kenny gets all saves money.
Only 60% of us,
I work
guys.
4 jobs, you
60%
jackass.
So, anyways, going on with the
so now we've been going back in negotiation. We've been to trial twice. The first time we went to court, we kind of tied. The second time we went to court, I lost. And I lost the eminent domain. So they now have the rights to show up to my property, which the cranes they're a quarter mile north of me now. And they've been digging columns and pouring piles and everything else. So, I mean, there's active work going on. Anybody tells you the train isn't doing it, no, there's people happening all the time. They've tore up the orchards around me. They tore out the grapes. They've restaked everything. They've staked out my neighbors. They've purchased the land across from me. They've purchased my neighbors to the south and to the west. I'm really one of the last guys left that hasn't signed off. And I fight them all the way, and I won't sign anything. So I've lost eminent domain. They will tear up my property, and there's nothing I can do about it. If I get in their way, the Highway Patrol arrests me. So the last battle I have now, it's called value. So we're gearing up to trial for September. And by the way, this costs a fortune.
Yeah, lawyers alone.
Oh, yeah. So now our next trial is going to be how much money is it worth for the land. So now High Speed Rail is turned around because it wasn't looking good for them for the value trial. Because that's separate. The value trial, what we won part, is now going to be, it's going to be in Madera, judged by my peers, and it will be a jury trial. Well, High Speed Rail doesn't typically like jury.
They hate jury trials.
In this valley?
Yeah, well, it would be in Madera. So the people that I employ and family members, Madera's only 55,000 people. Mm-hmm. So chances are someone's going to know something about us, and then you get to the branches of the stores that sell my product, the trucks that bring it in, family members. Everybody kind of knows. It's just not that big of a town. So now they're starting negotiating with me. And they are hell-bent to make sure no matter what happens, they will build this bridge and they will build these roads now so it'll work. So I haven't got the engineer's estimate on the value, but they're looking to build a bridge that's going to be millions. The bridge alone, I think they got pegged at about $8.3 million just for the bridge. And that's not the roads leading up, that's not the ramps around it, and that's not all the acquisition around me.
This is from a government project that hasn't identified its funding source yet.
Yeah.
So, hey,
yeah.
That's rocking.
And they're like $10 over budget, right?
Yeah.
So
now I've had people, I kid you not, I've had people sitting up front of my property for a week writing down all the animals that crawl through, the birds that fly overhead. I had them come out to my place and do a sonic where radio.
Wait a minute, are you actually getting environmentalists to actually benefit you?
No. Because if they found something, they just shut me down.
You should put some smelt. Sorry. The Delta smelt. Just put it on your property.
Then they'd probably shut down my place and say, "Now it's in. I can't. I can't work there."
Deep doo doo.
Yeah, they were looking for some salamander, and then of course there's always the kangaroo rat, and I'm like, my God, if you see a kangaroo rat, kill it. So, and they actually came out. They had this like kind of machine that shot like sonic grounds into the ground sonic waves. And there was a dude. I mean, Indiana Jones, archaeologist, showed me his card and everything, making sure there was no Indian bones and arrowheads and stuff around my property before they could acquire it. I mean, I can't believe this stuff that happened.
They have to do that on every inch of property that they acquire. It's just this environmental discovery, they call it. And the law. They got to do it in California.
And if they find something, though, they find ways around it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it
seems
hasn't
like a
stopped trade.
tremendous waste of money.
It is.
For something that'll never be built.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it.
Yeah,
It won't happen.
From what I've seen, they're going to dig dirt and pour concrete, and it's going to stop.
Yeah.
They're not going to lay tracks. But that digging dirt and pour concrete is tearing up a lot of people, and me being one of them.
Are they giving you something like another piece of land,
No.
a way to rebuild nothing?
No.
They don't.
Why? Why would they
Well,
do
no,
that?
because I've heard of other companies who've, we're going to destroy your building, but we're going to give you X amount of dollars, and you can have this plot of land, and
Well, here's
we'll
the
rebuild
problem.
you better than before.
When we had the value of my place and relocation on it, the value they came up with my place to relocate me, build me new was $22 million. So High Speed Rail said, we are not paying you $22 million. We'd rather spend $50 million building a bridge and roads around you than to give you 22. If you're a restaurant or something like that, they give you
Bureaucracy,
2 or 3 houses.
baby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If they can write a check for less than $500,000, a lot of times it's easier to get you out of the way. But when you're talking millions and 10 millions of what my place is worth, no way.
Why not? The money doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Well, yeah, because
Not their
what they
money.
did, they've just added 2 years and another 50,000 man hours to that job. And they can say, they're going to fly their flag and say it's in the name of steel structures. We are going to help the citizens of Madera, and no matter what the value and the damages are, we are going to make sure we're the good guys, and steel
And
structures
that puts
doesn't
him
have
behind
to-
a rock and a hard spot.
Yeah.
You know?
If I complain...
Because they're going to save Madera economically, and it's all bullshit.
And if he says no, he's an asshole. And
If I say no, I'm greedy, I'm just going to take the money and run. And if I say yes, then I'm caving in. So they've spun it in such a manner, I haven't found a good way out of it yet. And I really don't want to be around it. As much as I don't want to move, because that would be a monstrous undertaking, it scares me to be around the train.
Tell you what, I'll make a video for you.
Come on by.
That'll net you a couple million.
Yeah. Now, the end game, though, we lost, so maybe you don't want that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We'll make a video against him, and then he'll win.
Yeah.
How about you leave me alone?
Where do you see this going? Are you going to get shut down? Or
Here's the way it looks like it's going right now. It's fortunately, being an engineer myself, so they're not going to talk over me. And I've hired a couple civils, so now I've got a couple attorneys that are not cheap. I've got civil engineers that are not cheap. We have all this stuff going on. So I'm working with my civils, and we're modeling the entire ramps and roads in 3D modeling, and we're talking 1.5 miles in each direction. And we've taken their plans now and redone the modeling, and I'm able to show in video the loads that I haul, so I'm not making it up. It's not even a theory. I've done it. And the last meeting we had, which was about a week and a half ago, we showed that their design still didn't work. And there was an engineer actually saying, oh my gosh, we're going to do this again. And anyway, this gentleman named Don, he comes from Sacramento. He's the big cheese for acquisition. And he comes down and he says, yes. So now they're changing turns, they're widening the bridge, they're removing some areas, they're increasing a shoulder, and they've got to get me to where I can be 118 feet in what's called the 9-axle, and I'm 250,000 pounds of load, and they're determined. Our next meeting's in about a week and a half, and we're going to review their road design and see how it looks and if it can happen. And if it can happen, it looks like I'm going to get stuck, and I will have to abide by the rule, and then we're just going to have this huge bridge around when we enter and exit the property. We're just going to have to be really, really careful on our loads. That's the way it looks right now.
You should just clip the bridge and be like, my bad. Sorry.
Shoot.
Damn it.
What if you went with a creative route? Okay, you ply us with beer every single Wednesday night. Construction workers, I'm sure they're not scared of beer. What if you just took cases of beer and put it out in the construction area, but we day by day take it out another 10 feet?
Yeah, just a little bit farther.
And maybe the tracks just keep going out that direction.
You know what they would do? Knowing how they work, they would make a new criteria for that union rep, because this is all union employees. We've actually bid on the job, and they told me I couldn't do it because you must be a card-carrying union member because they signed a labor agreement. So unless you're a union shop, you cannot get a bid on this job. So they would create a new journeyman's about beer collector or something, and then he would be his job then to just collect all the beer and save it till the end of the day.
You mean the union cutout competition? What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And here comes Kevin.
Yeah.
That was last week.
So,
well, crap. What can anyone do anything to help? In like public voice, public opinion.
Well, Ray's been huge. After I was on Ray's show for an hour. Oh gosh, it's been a few months ago now.
Yeah, it was a couple of months back.
And we, of course, what really happened is Ray said some names. Just set them out. This is what we had. We have Dave Rogers call in.
Yeah.
And gave you some stuff. And I received phone calls the next morning from district representatives in the Congress. Hey, don't put my name out there. That's not exactly how it happened. And they were saying, hey, just because I voted for it doesn't mean I'm for it. So I scratched my head.
How many times have I heard that?
Yeah, so I'm against
Wait,
it,
what?
but if I vote no, then we can't get the maintenance yard. So now, in order to get the maintenance yard, they had to actually vote for it. Now they're bidding on the maintenance yard against Fresno, and I don't know, it turns into that kind of spin. So,
No, I'm sorry, man. That's crap.
yeah, it's been pretty stressful. Actually, I think I got a lot of gray hair from it. Yeah, and this has been going on for over 2 years now.
Jesus.
Well, shit. Don't know what to
He's
do with
only
that.
19, you know.
Good thing.
Wait a minute,
Good thing
19?
you
Wait,
own,
21.
Yeah. Good thing you own a brewery and you can drink a lot.
Yeah. So that's where we are. So in the big picture, it looks like it may work out, but it's going to be miserable. It's going to be slow. It's going to be expensive every time I haul a load. They're taking so much of my property, it changes my routing. It's just painful, expensive, and miserable in all directions, and I have to live with it for the rest of my life. They're going to go back to wherever they go and sleep and say, it wasn't my problem, no problem. And then I'm going to give it to my kids who are Generation 4, as I said, Generation 3. And then they're going to have to deal with it, and it's just going to be miserable forever having that big bridge in front.
Well, this is kind of your fault. You decided to be an entrepreneur and build something for
damn it.
yourself.
Greedy capitalist.
Idiot.
Really? Employ people, give work. Jeez, yeah.
Real quick on Riley's. What do you guys coming up? And where's that Longbox beer? I'm just saying.
Suspiciously quiet.
Well,
Hashtag
or actually,
Longbox beer. Let's get that rolling.
You guys do
10,000 of those. I'll look at. Yeah.
You have the Cougar, the Vicks, and all that. I was actually thinking, what if you did a Thug Life Cotty beer?
Oh, yeah.
Only
Well,
sold in
TLK.
only sold in 40s.
We're actually having a pint night right now. We took over 18 taps, and funny. I won't mention names, but we have a hammered IPA out now.
That is funny.
We could have, never thought about Longbox. What would that be?
It would be sold in the dozens and dozens.
The low dozen.
The low dozen.
I'm thinking milk stout. Yeah.
I was thinking mead.
No.
Real big in the gay community. For sure.
Rainbow Longbox.
We take it where we can.
It's going to be the lightest, weakest beer you've got, because that's what Chris likes to drink.
So Ray and Dan, I'm going to move on to something we haven't been able to do this in a little bit because of the type of guests that we've had on here the last few weeks. But I know Kevin's waiting for it.
It's time for Molestar Kevin's questions.
Couldn't get serious last week. It's a shame. Let's get serious.
First question.
Thank you.
Wow.
That is so hokey.
Thank you.
Love it. It's new. First one's for Ray. Ray.
What?
Using only 3 words, explain to Dowdy why he isn't rich yet.
3 words. Mm-hmm. Didn't win lottery.
That also explains my first marriage.
Dan, you look like you had something.
Oh, I was just going to say dumbass white boy, but that's kind of
That's 4 words.
White boy's hyphenated.
That's just one word.
I'll take that.
All right, let's shoot
Second question.
Nice. Also for Ray. Ray, finish this sentence. There's just something about Kenneth that makes me want to
hurl.
Did not skip one beat.
No. Damn, you took my word.
I was going to say vomit, but yeah.
I need another beer.
Who's Kenneth?
The ginger glaring at you.
Yeah.
He is harmless.
Dan, finish this sentence. The problem with morning wood is...
Hasn't had it in 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, at my age, that's something I vaguely remember.
Holy crap, yeah. That makes a great kickstand. You just roll to your side and you stay there,
I'll
I don't know if that's a problem.
Hashtag
Question
kickstand.
the third.
Mm-hmm. Back to Ray. Ray, finish this sentence. The girl I lost my virginity to was...
Susie Cream Cheese.
Was she called that before or after you
That's
lost
an
your
old
virginity?
60s joke, but that was her nickname.
Could we get an explanation on that joke?
Well, it's a Zappa deal. The Mothers of Invention, their first album, and it was all about this girl named Susie Cream Cheese. She was a groupie. And that's what this girl in high school referred herself as. Susie. Her name was Susie.
I think I've met her on Tinder before.
I think everybody met her. This girl was rode hard and put away wet, I'm telling you.
I love that.
Got nothing left on the treads, does she? Let's see. Dan.
Pregunta cuatro.
Segundo Quadro.
Ay.
Would you rather have eternal life, but only after your 75th birthday, or always be reincarnated as yourself while retaining all of the knowledge you had in your past life, but you're guaranteed to die a horrible, gruesome death on your 20th birthday?
That's yours, babe.
My 20th. Damn, I don't get a shot. I think I'd rather have to. I got to get reincarnated because I can do a lot before I'm 20 if I know what I did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a very good point.
Yeah.
A lot of kickstand mornings.
A lot of kicks. Oh, yeah. Puberty again? God, going through puberty over and over again? Teachers wouldn't have a shot. Yeah. Wait till high school.
I would probably still be sad in high school. With all my knowledge, it'd be
Why
bad.
do I keep screwing this up?
Just keeps doing the same shit. That's why.
Yeah, I got to tell you a story. I lost my virginity when I was 14.
Damn, son.
And this is like,
Susie Cream.
way back. Yeah.
How old is Susie Cream Cheese?
And so I'm running around like junior high and high school back in the 60s. Having already been there, I am the horniest mother on earth. And all my friends are like, why are you like that, man? What? Because I didn't want to tell them, that it's just, never mind. The story didn't come out quite right.
You didn't want to explain to your pubescent friends that your mother was horny?
Just like I knew, and nobody else knew in my age group, and I was ostracized. It was terrible.
No.
So horrible.
I understand. In growing up with my group of friends, a lot of us were late bloomers. But it's like one by one they get picked off. They suddenly follow the scent of pussy. And I'm still like, dude, beer and video games sounds great. And they're like, yeah, no, I got something to do tonight.
You're saying that with two women here? Please.
And he lives with one.
Well, one's my mom and one's my girlfriend. So I'm
And he's still waiting for that moment.
and I'm still going to be in trouble.
And he still is all about beer and video games. It's really weird.
Man, this sushi's great.
Next question.
Back to Ray. Ray, would you rather be able to talk to dead people, but every time you look into a mirror, you see all your exes staring disappointingly back at you? Or whenever you're driving, everyone else on the road magically gets the fuck out of the way, but your body is covered in a bunch of extra nipples, not all of them are yours?
Well, the second one, because I don't want to see all my exes staring back at me.
The nipples don't even bother you, do they?
No, I'm a three-striker. I don't know.
All right, let's go on to the fifth one, I think. Yeah, Ragundo.
I pressed a button. Go.
Press it. There you go.
All right.
I forgot which question we were on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I'm broken already.
Dan, would you support legislation that allows threesomes to be legal at 2/3 consent?
Why didn't I get that one?
I'm waiting for the
It's
other
coming.
half. I'm like, I don't,
That's it.
You already got the 2/3.
Yeah.
The Dirty Dowdy Podcast goes political again.
Sure, hell yeah, why not?
There you go.
Ray, do you agree?
I probably would concur. Yeah.
So it makes two of them.
Although
so.
that could go bad. I mean,
God,
democracy,
we're all
it's the
terrible
law.
people here.
The Seinfeld of podcasts.
And last one to Ray. Finally, Ray, have you ever taken one of those pisses that was so relaxing it made your penis bleed?
No.
What?
Jealous?
Wait a minute.
What?
Let's do a follow-up.
I'll tell you straight out, no.
Have you ever had one of those?
It wasn't very relaxing. But the second part was there.
I mean, you got to remember, I lived in Santa Cruz in the 1960s. I was dodging gonorrhea like a football player. But no.
At 14
never
of all things.
He was
Susie cream cheese.
Man, he was a good stepper.
All right. We're going to flip it here. Ray, we talked about Ray name drops. I don't have a fancy intro for it, but I want to play a quick game here.
Okay.
Using your experience and your time, you've met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's basically the game called Bullshit. But give us a story about. Just go down a series of them. Famous person that you've had interactions, dealings in any way, and we as a group will go around and say yes or whether it's true or not. So basic bullshit game.
One at a time, you'll go around and say it's true or not, or after they're all done?
Go ahead and do one at a time, and then we're bad at games. Go ahead and do one at a time, and then we'll all say true or false.
You'll have to lie on a few of them.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. There's so many. Let me pull some out of my musical career, because in the talk career, you guys might know some of this stuff. I was down in Los Angeles looking for a gig at a radio station called KLOS. Tom Yates, who was the program director, was a buddy of mine. And we had an arrangement to have lunch on a particular day. This is 1970-something. No, it was a little later than that. And I'm sitting at in the studios in Hollywood, and in comes Ringo through the door, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, it's a Beatle, you know? And Tom is like, oh, God, I forgot our lunch. I'm so sorry, Richie. That's everybody knows him, calls him Richie. And Ringo's like, oh, that's all right and all that. And he says, can we take my friend Ray along? And I thought, oh, God, this is great. And he goes, well, I got one of me friends in the car. And so he said, okay, we're going to lunch. So I hop in the limousine with Tom and Ringo. And the friend he had in the car was Barbara Streisand. And I'm just like, I don't like this bitch. I don't like her now, and I didn't like her then. But it was very cool. Ringo and Barbara, and his wife Barbara Bach, the American actress, who was just a beauty. You know, so that's a story. It was great.
All right, real quick, true or false around the table. We'll start with Cotty.
True.
All right, thanks for the conviction on that. Kenneth, we'll make it simple. True, hands up.
True.
I was going to say true, because
nobody
really likes Barbara Streisand.
And false?
I got to say, just because you got to screw with this at some point. I mean,
yeah.
Because I still would believe it. I mean,
what's the answer?
That's absolutely true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely true.
You guys keep track of your own points. I'm not going to do this. Next one.
40 points for me.
1 billion points.
Another Beatles story. I was at A&M Records in New York. George Harrison had just signed Dark Horse Records to A&M for a distribution deal. And he came in with his new girlfriend. He was divorced from Patty Boyd because she was with Eric Clapton. And I didn't know this. His fiancée girlfriend at the time was a very good friend of mine from A&M in Los Angeles. She was a receptionist named Olivia. And so George said, oh, you didn't know. I'm going to marry a California Mexican. That makes me very international and all that.
That's redundant.
And so we all went out to lunch. And the only thing he talked about was Olivia's 2 dachshunds having babies on my dashikis that I got from the Maharishi. I thought, I'm out with a goddamn Beatle, my favorite Beatle, and he's talking about dog afterbirth, you know, on his robes that he got from the Maharishi, you know. So,
okay, true. Anyone?
I'm still going true.
We got
that's so outlandish.
Okay, the majority here saying true and false.
I gotta go.
I'm going to go false on this too.
True.
God.
Woo!
You're messing with us. Cotty, chill out. All right, next name drop.
When I was a publicist for Supertramp, I would travel every 5 days ahead of the group, arranging all of their media, their radio, all that. And we met up in New York, and we had just broken the Rolling Stones records for consecutive dates at Madison Square Garden. They did 4 nights, we did 5. So I got to stay behind, and we had a big party. And they said, I was like the gopher. Ray, go find a place where we can have an after-concert party. So I found this discotheque in the East Village called Ashley's, which was a gay discotheque by day and at night, but it was closed for us. So we had the big after-party routine. Bowie was there. John and Yoko were there. I mean, it was fabulous. And I was like a little 27-year-old kid going, Jesus Christ. And so the bass player in Supertramp was my closest friend of the band, Doogie's from Scotland. And he says, Ray, there's this great-looking girl asking about you at the bar. And I look down, and there's this big, giant, tall redhead. It's stunning. And I'm like, well, I don't have time for that, and I got to get you guys home. And he goes, I'll make the arrangements for you. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I get all the band out of there. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I go back to my hotel. I go in the hotel, and I hear somebody's in my bathroom. And I figure, he didn't bring that girl back here, did he? And so she comes out of the bathroom, right? Naked from the waist up. And it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And then from the waist down, she had a dick bigger than mine. Now, I really freaked out. So I pulled open the door and said, you have to leave now. There's the whole band listening like the Keystone Cops. They all fall in the room laughing their ass off because they set me up real good.
Oh, damn. True. I want that so bad.
He used the word discotheque. It has to be true.
Is it unanimous true?
I want it to be so bad. I'm going with it.
I'm going to have to say false.
I don't believe it.
You said giant redhead. I'm like, You took inspiration. I say false.
Ooh.
I'm going true on this.
But it was the dick bigger than his that makes me tell you.
It's usual suspects going on here. I see what's going on.
Okay. What do we got? Trues?
I'm going to go true.
All right. Falses? What is it?
Her name was Angelica. It's true.
Angelica's cream cheese with a penis.
That actually is cream cheese.
Hadn't had the final surgery.
It's a different kind of cheese.
That's a funny looking vagina. Get the fuck out.
All right. Number 4.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Oh, yeah.
These are awesome.
Are you kidding?
It's hilarious.
This is what they're gonna
Okay,
make you look
I'll
at
tell you a
job.
KMJ story. This is when President Bush the first was on the air, and I loved the man. I was just all ready for this big time, and so he comes into the studio, and he had 2 Dixie beers and a bottle of like those. I'm in a bag of those fried pork rinds, and he opens the thing up and he puts a whole bunch of hot sauce in it, shakes it up, opens the beers, hands me one. And then he opens up the pork rinds and pours it on the table, which is right next to my console, and says, "Let's begin the interview." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, this guy's like human. He's like real, you know." And that's basically the story. And we went on with the interview.
I'm going to say false because no one liked Bush.
They like him enough to vote him into office. So
shut up with facts.
Now's not the time for well-placed logic.
Trues?
I'm going to go with true this
time. Okay, and falses?
I'm going to go false just to give you some support on that one.
What do we got?
True.
God damn.
You guys getting wise to me yet? You know?
It's
all true.
It's all true.
Let me get one more.
Make it false. So
one more.
Make it false.
So it's an actual game.
I'm living through his stories, man.
The second ever show at the Save Mart Center was Elton John. Okay? And when I lived in England, I played for his rugby club, Watford Angels.
Really?
We got rugby
calm
players here?
down.
Oh, yeah.
No, he
Calm
doesn't.
down.
He's never played rugby.
Now
in his life.
Kenneth has an erection.
Yep.
This was 1985-86 when I played for his club. And I didn't think he knew any of us. You know, he would just come out with his little boyfriend and split, you know. And
like a seal.
So I got, I'm backstage and he's finishing up his set. He comes off the stage and all that. And, I'm trying to impress this girl I was with. And I said, but he's not going to recognize me. He goes, "Ray, is that you?" And I'm like, "Oh, my God." And it was just had a nice little reunion. And "What are you doing in Fresno?" "This is where I live." He said, "Well, I thought you lived in Rickmansworth." I said, "No, I live here." End of story. Blew me away.
All right, what do we got?
I had to abstain.
Goddamn, Kenneth.
Yeah,
You're
Kenneth got his pants
compromised?
pregnant.
I'm going to say true. Screw
At
it.
this point, I'm going true.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
They're all complete lie.
I'm going to go false.
Now, wait a minute. It's a half lie. I did play for his rugby club when I lived there, but he didn't recognize me. He didn't know me from Adam.
When we go to the break, Kenneth, stay away from him. Just stop.
Don't
right
hump his
now.
leg.
Restrain him.
Let's not make this weird.
No, I'm fragile now. I'm old.
Ray, we can find you, after this, on Monday, we can find you on KMJ 11 to 2.
Yeah.
KMJ 580 AM and 105.9
FM.
We should get Aaron Abadian in here to do this. And
Something tells me you've always had that voice, like you were born with that voice.
This is how I've always sounded, whatever
Even
it is,
before
for better or
puberty.
for worse. Yeah.
Wow.
Even as a toddler walking around in a diaper, he sounds like
I think I
that.
got late at 14.
This is weird. When I was in high
Whoa.
school, I really had no designs on radio, even though I dabbled with it a little bit. And I had this one art teacher who's still around, and he wrote in my yearbook, "Good luck in radio and TV." And I was going to be the great budding zoologist. And 40 years later, 50 years later, whatever it's been, I run into him and he goes, I told you. He knew. said, I always knew it was in your voice.
Is it possible that
True.
you got laid at 14 because of that voice?
I think it was.
I'm saying true.
Could be. The only reason I'm telling that story is because my mother's no longer with us. So, yeah.
My mother is.
I would never
She's
tell
listening
that.
right now.
Never tell that
She's out
story
right
if she was
outside
still
for him.
alive.
Yeah.
Pitching it in out
Nor would I
front.
tell the Supertramp story either if she were still alive.
How about
Dan.
the transvestite story?
Why do I got to follow the transvestite story?
No. Plug time. Finding Riley's Brewing, where, websites, all that stuff real quick.
Oh, of course, the website's RileyBrewing.com. We're getting our store getting put together right now. Of course, we're in Vaughn's, we're in Save Mart, we're in all the major chains. We've got a variety pack coming up with the hard sodas. That'll be in another month. And we're now distributed from the Grapevine all through Kern County, all the way up through Sacramento, and all the way over to Lake Tahoe. And we just getting ready to ship our second load to Florida, of all places.
Good for you, man. It's a good product.
Hell
It's
yeah.
a really
We
good
are-
product.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm
Bravo.
doing. It just happens.
Cheers.
Same here, but I'm not in Florida.
Yeah.
You might be.
We have... Okay, Ray, I think you will love this. Dan, I definitely will love this. We're coming back. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to refresh, get some more sushi, get some more beer. We have Rockin' Walkin' coming back.
That's a good one.
And-
Rockin' Walkin'.
Yes, that's the game that we're going to play.
Okay.
It is lyrics from famous songs throughout decades and decades spoken by Christopher Walken. And actually a guy named Aaron Perillo, but it's Christopher Walken. So
It is totally him.
yeah, it's totally Christopher
Oh,
Walken.
that'll be great.
I'm good friends with him. Let me tell you a story about the time I was hanging out with Christopher Walken backstage at
Lying sack of shit.
All right, we'll be right back. It's the Dirty Dowdy Podcast here on Longbox.FM.
Why is it called Longbox? Am I missing something?
No, there's
Obvious.
Actually, Longbox has two connotations. Longbox is a comic book thing that when they come to the store, it's in a long box.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not why I chose it. Long boxes in the 90s when CDs were sold, typically like places like Costco, and they were in the cardboard boxes that were that big. They were called long boxes.
Got it.
And so music, long box, and I wanted something unique and different. And everybody's got their Twitter or their Facebook, like there's always unique names.
I like it. I think it's a good name.
This is Rockin' Walkin' on the Dirty Dowdy Podcast.
All right, it's popular, it's hip, it's cool, people love it. It's the Dirty Dowdy Podcast here on Longbox.FM, brought to you by Dan Riley and his beer, who will hopefully continue having unless the government destroys his business. We are going to be doing
How
a
many
game.
people do love it, actually?
Cheers.
Enough?
Your podcast.
My podcast? Oh, dozens and dozens, according to Philip Teresi.
Upper
No,
dozen.
we actually,
Low dozens?
yeah, low dozens.
Low.
No, we actually we're in the thousands. It's really nice to have a lot of people listening, and it's
That
not
is
just my
groovy.
mom with a lot of computers. It's
And a lot of other mothers.
It is.
It's
No, they're all out.
too.
Old gag, you had to be here earlier for that.
I'm surprised they haven't busted down the door yet. So, simple rules in this game. It's songs that you should know. Going back now, and I went deeper this time, decades. And it's usually, for the most part, they're the beginning of the lyrics. It's spoken by Christopher Walken, who is actually, it's Aaron Perillo, who we're hoping to get on here this summer.
Yes, please.
He's been on
Yes.
NCIS, CSI. You can check him out as IMDb, or for the women right now, you can just look at the screen and be happy.
And Marvel.
I don't care. We're moving on. The game is we're going to do Team Ray and Team Riley. Your name is your buzzer. So as I play the songs, if you know it, call your name out. I will pause the music, and you give your response. You get a point for the name of the band and a point for the song title. Simple enough. Everyone got it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to repeat it 18 times for Kenneth. This is where we go. Starting off with song number 1.
Generals gathered in the masses just like
Kevin.
witches.
Ray.
We got Kevin.
No, I didn't.
Black Sabbath, War Pigs.
War Pigs. Yeah.
Death, construction.
Congratulations. 2 points.
And feels the bodies burning
All right.
as the war machine.
2 points for Team Ray. Next song.
Now there's a backstreet lover. They're always undercover. And I talked to my daddy, say you ain't seen nothing. Do you?
I got it. It's Team Ray. Aerosmith, Walk This Way. Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Hey, where's our first 2 points?
Yeah.
4 points.
Sound
What-
guy.
What's Riley doing?
Hey, we have 2 points. Look
We're
at
not
us.
socialist yet here.
Ray, do you have any sound guys over at KMJ that possibly would want to, I don't know, Wednesday nights, freelance a little bit?
I could find a few.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
He's a Bernie Sanders supporter. Everybody's got to be equal. You know?
No,
Pissed him off.
don't say that.
What do you do? It's still it's 4 point. Oh my God! I'll keep track. Sound boy.
Way off.
We're doing great.
God.
Next song.
We all came to Montrose on the Lake Geneva shoreline to
Jenny.
make records.
Smoke on the Water and
Wow.
Deep Purple.
Nice.
Two.
Wow. Very
I had
nice.
it right away, but I didn't want to be a hog.
All right, so I think Riley has 6 points now.
Chill out, Bernie. All right, next song. We're gonna go a little bit newer, just to help you guys out here. Damn it! Come on, buttons.
Hello. I've waited here for you. Everlong. Tonight.
Alex. Everlong by the Foo Fighters.
Correct.
Out of her head.
Oh,
Of course.
Out of her head.
Yep.
She
I feel like I've
sang,
gotten too easy here.
Calm down.
Well, it said the title in the first
this is
3
pretty
words.
Yeah,
good
and,
taste.
yeah, the phasing. Yeah, he recorded it on the fly for me late last night. I came up with a. I actually, to be fair, to understand, I sent him 11 pages on a Word document and said, "Read all this." So yeah. Next song.
Hang on, we didn't get our cred for that.
Oh yeah, well that's Soundboy. You're never going to get cred for that. Right now it's 6
We'll get
points
credit
for
for
Team
that.
Ray, 2 points for Team Riley. Please step up, Riley. Here you go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the jungle.
Jenny. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
No kidding.
Are you sure?
Holy shit.
I actually like this. I'm going to play it again just because I really appreciate
We
the.
should just really listen to his voice, though.
Oh, just listen to the lyrics that he wrote.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want, honey. If you don't know the song by now, I don't want to talk to you.
It's pretty good.
Thank you, Aaron.
Pretty good.
All right, here we go. Next one.
There must be some kind of way out of here,
Ray,
said the Joker.
to the thief. Now I'm blanking.
Yeah, me too.
Uh-oh.
Wait, we can go multiple versions.
Jenny.
Stuck in the middle with you.
All along the Watchtower, Hendrix, or Dylan, or Dave Mason. There's like a million versions of it.
Stuck in the middle with you.
I don't know if I should give you 2 points or like 8 for that answer.
The most common is Hendrix.
Yes, the
Dylan
answer
wrote
was
it, yeah.
Hendrix, yeah.
Yeah.
Next one for you guys.
If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me?
Ken.
I love it.
Jenny.
Freebird.
Yeah.
Leonard
Oh,
Skinner.
yeah, you're about to get stabbed.
I was like, it's right there.
2 points for Riley.
That was great.
Thank you, somebody else, for stepping up.
I was going to get Guns N' Roses.
Hey, Connie.
I'm on the YouTube.
I said hi.
Oh, I
That's
forgot
all
we were
said.
keeping score. I got to jump in on these. Huh?
Here we go. Next one.
If you like to gamble, I'll tell you, I'm your man.
Wait.
Oh.
You win some,
No.
lose
Oh, no.
some, all the same to me.
Got me on that one.
Pleasures to play. Makes no difference what you say. I don't share your greed. The only card I need is the Ace of Spades.
Ray, Motorhead, Ace of Spades.
Nice.
My man Lemmy, who just died.
Yeah.
My hero. I should have known that. Oh, my God. But I got it. Nick of time.
I'm giving you 2 points for that, but I'm going to take one away because you just said he was your hero. And
Oh, Lemmy, he was so good, man. I go down there and, that one. Never mind. That's no more stories.
well,
No.
Actually, your stories are
keep,
pretty cool.
Yeah, keep going with that story real quick.
But do it in a Christopher Walken voice.
Well, the Rainbow Grill. That's where he hung out. He was forever in his bar stool next to it's like a slot machine, a legal slot machine for California. And if you were sitting in that stool, or you're like some tourist or something, he would literally take you and throw you through a wall. He said, "My fucking chair." And any fan, all that, he was great to him. He talked just all night to him. He's a great guy.
As long as he didn't sit in a stool.
Yeah, as long as he was at the stool, and the one place at the bar. Let me kill Mister.
I'm glad you gave me that whole history. I'm taking 2 more points off because that just shows how much.
Well, here, take more off. He had an apartment just right above, which is true. You could walk from the Rainbow Grill up to his apartment. It was like 30 yards away, and it was rent controlled. He only paid $800 a month for it.
In
He'd
LA?
been there forever, yeah, and he loved it. And the landlord hated him, like, die, move, will you? He finally died.
He should have got one of those like fun slides to go from his apartment window right to the chair.
Fireman's pole. Just
There you go.
boom.
Yeah.
Next song.
Load up on guns. Bring your friends. It's fun to lose and pretend.
Jenny.
She's all over.
Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana.
Wow.
Oh, I couldn't even understand.
It's been
Very
22
good.
years,
Nicely done.
April 5th, that my boyfriend shot himself in the face.
Yeah, I totally carved my arm up. No, I didn't.
It was your inner thigh.
Thanks, babe. Thanks.
Wow.
And she had to remind you?
Yeah.
You
No,
couldn't
I forgot
remember
about
that?
No, actually, my parents, being any average parent who doesn't understand an alternative fan kid in his early teens during the 90s, I remember my mom coming in with the newspaper. Honey, as I'm waking up, ready to go to school, we want to talk to you real quick. I'm like, oh crap, what'd I do? Did I get caught jerking off again? Did you see the
Ew.
porn in the history?
Again.
No, Kurt Cobain died. I'm still not allowed to watch MTV at this time, but they knew enough to let me know that this guy died, and it was a big thing. Next song.
Hashtag sob story.
Hashtag shut up. Here we go.
Feel the rhythm with your hands. Steal the rhythm while you can.
Kevin.
Spoon.
Spoon Man.
Oh, yeah, of
Soundgarden.
course. Yeah, Soundgarden.
Very good.
Very good.
Thank you. I was going to say Black Hole Sun as the artist. I'm like, that's amazing.
Black Hole Sun.
Yeah. That was a great show.
Any Chris Cornell.
God, I'm 66 and I know these songs? That's something wrong with me, man.
No, you're doing everything right.
Oh, is that
That's
it?
how you stay
Okay.
young.
All right.
Next one.
She's my cherry pie.
Warrant.
Alex. Warrant Cherry Pie. Oh,
Sorry.
Warrant Cherry Pie.
I didn't mean to scream. Sorry, I cheated.
It's Warrant Cherry Pie.
Yes.
But I didn't hear a team name.
I said
Yeah, he
Alex.
said Alex.
Damn it.
I was
I
sort
really
of
feel
saying
like
my name.
Dan
Team Ray
said
is
it.
just
I really
running
think
away.
I heard
Another
Dan.
dead lead singer.
Dan said
Say
it
Dan.
first.
Yeah, Dan said Dan.
Dan said Dan.
He did.
Yeah, Dan gives me beer. I'll
Just give him
Why
30.
are we up at 14? The points keep going up here. What the hell?
Soundboy knows how to run board, not points or math.
And fanboy. I
He
mean
just keeps
fangirl.
pressing the button. Go up.
I'm keeping track. Shh. We got one. We got another one here.
Girl, you really got me going.
Ray,
Shit.
Kinks, Van Halen, you really got me.
The Kinks. You really got me. Yes. Win. Victory. One more. I'll give this one 1 billion points.
Guys, step up.
Yeah.
I will.
Is this real life?
Kevin.
Oh,
Is
damn it.
it-
I knew it.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen.
God damn it.
What was it?
Queen, Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody.
Play it.
Oh, wow. Very good. I didn't dial into it at all.
This one was a special one, so I do want to let this one
Oh,
play.
please.
Real life. Is this
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape
From humanity.
from reality.
Oh, reality.
Open
close.
your eyes, look up to the skies, see, I'm just a poor boy. I need no sympathy.
I love this game.
Yeah.
You gotta box this shit and sell it, you know? It's really good.
Little low,
There aren't any more, really?
either way the wind blows.
Oh, I can go more.
Doesn't really matter.
Do one more.
Mama, just kill the man. Put a gun against his head. Pull the trigger. Now he's dead. Mama, life has just begun. But now, I've gone. I've thrown it all away. Mama. Oh.
I'm like seeing a whole movie in my head, you know?
Again by this time tomorrow.
It sounds like Christopher Walken's on stage.
Carry on.
It's like Christopher
carry
Walken
on.
beat poetry.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Nothing really
Did he
matters.
do the whole song?
No, I just for that one as I was reading the lyrics, I'm like, I gotta have all of this.
No, but did he send you?
No, just that.
We
But
will not let you go. No.
wait till the next batch of songs that he's coming in with, because it's getting crazier and crazier.
Stop bouncing on that chick.
Just
Yeah.
shut up.
All right, because Ray requested it, let's get another one.
Reminder,
Now this goes between Ray and Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you guys have heard these.
When you were here before, I couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin, it makes me cry.
I got no
you
idea.
float like a feather in a beautiful world, and I wish I was special. You're so fucking special.
I have no clue.
Nothing?
No? Oh, you're going to
No, I
kick
thought I had
yourselves.
something at the beginning. I said, no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're going to kick yourself.
I know.
Radiohead.
Creep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you one of my all-time favorite songs.
Yeah.
Really?
All right, here we go.
It's so different when it's
You're distracted by the voice.
Yeah, that's what it is. I love that song.
All right, let's go.
A creep.
Here you go.
In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Butane in my veins. So I'm out to cut the junkie with the plastic eyeballs.
I have
We
no
spray
idea.
paint the vegetables.
No
Dog
idea.
food
Dan's got it.
stalls
Got it.
with the
He
beefcake pantyhose.
One of
Kill
those kickers again.
the headlights and put them in neutral. The stock car flaming with a loser
in the cruise
and
control.
the cruise control. Babies in Reno with the vitamin
It's like the
D.
worst script to a horror movie I've ever heard.
90s lyrics, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Beck and Loser.
Oh, okay. See, I don't even know a song, so all right.
Plastic eyeballs. I'm like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, no, crazy lyrics.
I know Beck, but I don't know that tune.
Those two songs were written about Chris Dowdy, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Next one, asshole.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city that I live in. The city.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, crap.
As I am. Together, we cry. I drive on her streets because she's my companion. I walk through her hills because she knows who I am.
I know this song.
She sees my good deeds and
Four
she
words in the
kisses
Band-Aid.
me. Wendy, I never worry. Now, that is a lie.
Is it Springsteen? No, it's not Springsteen.
Can he just get points for singing it?
I can't remember.
It's
Red Hot Chili Peppers
Oh,
Under the
God,
Bridge.
I was singing the damn song and I couldn't remember it.
Holy shit.
I don't want to play anymore.
Well, since you pushed me, we have to do this until someone gets one.
Okay.
All right.
We put everybody else in. This is terrible.
Nope, they know us.
We already
We've heard
him.
this.
Oh.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodic, dramatic fools.
I don't know.
The neurotic,
Nothing.
to the bone.
I can sing the song again. Why am I?
It's more entertaining watching Dan beat himself up. Not
It's like having a brain hemorrhage.
It's Green Day Basket
Green
Case.
Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know this
Trying to
tune.
give a hint.
All right.
We're holding green packets.
It's great.
All right. I'll help out.
My phone's like, you idiot.
British.
Okay.
90s.
90s.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Tough.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you
gets one line
should
in.
have
Fucking Ray knows
somehow
every song.
realized
Jason.
what you gotta do.
No.
You're not playing.
No, I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
I feel like such a fool all of a sudden. Knocking out of the park, and now I can't get any of them.
all the songs, and I can't remember the name of the band.
We don't want to hear you sing, though.
Fire in your heart.
Oasis, Wonderwall.
Of course.
Man, you guys,
of course.
Ray, no longer my idol. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I'll get a little older.
When I look into your eyes, I can see a love restrained.
Oh, yeah.
But, darling, when I hold you, don't you know I feel the same? Nothing lasts forever. And we both know hearts can change, and it's hard to hold a candle in the cold November
rain.
Do you have an
Guns
answer?
N' Roses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a mercy kill right there. Well,
yeah, you get hung up listening to the voice.
Nope.
Yeah. That's what gets me. Yeah.
It's something hypnotic. Is
It is. I was singing 3 of those songs with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the band?
it was weird sitting here with Kiefer Sutherland and Christopher Walken as we were recording these bits. Ray, we have a tradition here. I'm going to give it to you because your team won by a landslide. Sorry, Dan. You have 1 minute to talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about starting now.
This was a lot of fun. I hope you have me back. And one reason I really like doing this is you're the first person that's ever interviewed me and not asked me about what my damn tattoos mean. So that scores points with me, you know. And other than that, it's been great. I love the sushi and the root beer. And invite me back. There you go. It's the best I can do.
You got it.
You got 40 seconds.
No.
You filled a 3-hour show and you're complaining about 40 seconds.
The brain goes nowhere when it's under like pressure. You know? Yeah, I do 3 hours, but that's during the day. This is nighttime.
All right, then hand off. Riley, give me something.
Oh, I had a good time too. It sucked. My phone's going off. Like, yeah, dumbass. I'm gonna have a little bit of people.
It's high-speed rail.
High-speed rail. High-speed rail. High-speed rail. That's annoying. We're gonna fight that to the absolute end. So, thank you for letting me vent on that. Didn't know you were gonna do it, but hey, I guess it happened.
Definitely.
Seriously, it was a lot of fun, though. Good stuff, guys.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We do have, I have been neglecting, as I do all the time, our internet listeners. We have a couple quick questions for you, Ray.
Okay.
Final plugs for everyone, and of course, Kenneth Awards at the very end of the night. It's all coming up next here on the Dirty Dowdy Podcast on Longbox.FM.
You're listening to the Dirty Dowdy Podcast on Longbox.FM.
For a sushi experience like no other, just say, roll one for me. Japanese cuisine expertly prepared and beautifully served in a fun, family-friendly environment. Make your next lunch or dinner unique. Roll one for me, a sushi joint on Champlain and Shepherd.
The Dirty Dowdy Podcast. Online on Facebook. Just hit up our Facebook page for all things Dirty Dowdy. That's facebook.com/The Dirty Dowdy Podcast.
End of the show here, the Dirty Dowdy Podcast on the Longbox.FM studios, brought to you by Dan Riley, his beer, his craft, and everything that the government in California is trying to take away from him because Dan the man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
White privilege.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Riley.
Thanks, Democrats. So, real quick, Ray.
Yeah.
What do the tattoos mean?
You're so gay.
That's exactly what they mean.
If anyone wants to ask a question, right now's your chance. Call in 492-0450. Cotty, what do we have on the interwebs?
Speak, Cotty.
By the way, Cotty, Ray, my lovely, lovely girlfriend, she never actually speaks unless she gets drunk
We
and then she gets
established that
mean.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do we
I have
got?
a messenger
Well,
question.
Optimus Noob Gaming from our YouTube chat room wanted to ask Ray about the cool car shows at Kearney
Park, yeah.
Kearney Park?
Yeah. What's he want to know about him?
He's asking what happened.
It's the internet, so you just
the
kinda
economy
figure it out.
died. That's what happened. I lost all the. We got up to the 9th one. We did that, and I had big plans for the 10th, but the economy took a dump, so we lost all the sponsorship money. But it's coming back around again, so I'll probably do one more soon. I hope, because it's been like 5-6 years since I've done one. The Rock and Rod Revival.
Do you want us to help co-host with you?
Sure.
All right. Are we going to fill in for you?
No.
Baby steps, Dowdy.
You know, Alex, you said it earlier. You shoot for the stars?
Yeah, shoot for the stars and hit the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You missed both.
You hit the lawn.
You hit the sun.
Yeah, you shot your
Hit the
foot.
lawn. Yeah.
Any other questions from the interwebs? Thanks. You're radio friendly. Well, let me give.
I sit here for 2 hours and I'm good for one question from the interweb. God almighty.
That's all they care about.
That's the end of my career.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ray. You can't make it in podcasting.
I got a face for it. So.
All right. Quick plugs, real quick, before we get to the awards. Dan Riley. Anything? How can we find all the Riley's Brewing, all that stuff?
Going back, let's see. So we've got our hard root beer. The biggest plugs I'd have to say is maybe his Famous Dave's Barbecue, Kumisama tonight. They've got 18 beers on tap. Save Mart is a huge supporter of us. And then so is Vaughn's for your off-premise. So grab a case of whatever you want and take it home with you.
Oh, Save Mart won't sell 5150 because it's controversial, but they'll sell your root beer.
Oh,
yes.
Boy.
Yes, they will.
How? Okay.
Oh, God.
We're supposed to be closing up the show, but are you kidding me? Have we gotten to this point of political correctness that we've run out of things to correct that we have to go to a name brand of an energy drink?
Have you been on the internet, Christopher?
Well, you know the story there, though, don't you?
That there's someone who I know, actually I think she's a Facebook friend until right now, who has, who obviously 5150 means brain chemistry off.
Yeah, I've been there,
that.
done that a million times.
Okay. The energy drink, though, is, energy drinks have to be like rocker balls, or they always have to have something extreme or crazy.
That's the number of his race car. The guy's a philanthropist. He's given like $1 million to autistic kids. He's set up in 21 counties with a boxing program to get kids off the street. And somebody has got thin skin and complained to Save Mart. Boy, that dates me, doesn't it? And so they pulled his product, which I thought was a real chicken
shit.
Yeah.
You can say it. You can say it.
The 5150 is the technical term for somebody that gets held against their will on a mental or self-harm type of thing.
So let's not buy Van Halen albums.
No.
18 million copies of that sold, by the way.
At some point, we're going to have you go to the grocery store and get energy drink A, energy drink B, and going down. It's company based or whatever.
Feel the burn.
It's all marketing, bro.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stop.
It's what plants crave.
It's what plants crave.
Hashtag electrolytes.
I am looking for the moment that Terry Crews is our new president.
Yay!
I'll take that.
Oh God.
All right. Well. Oh. Sorry, Ray. I'm talking to my mom right
Ray,
now.
you're still here.
Seriously, my mom is texting me right now and
Yeah? Hi,
talking
Mom.
about you. Wait a minute.
Oh.
I don't know how I feel about this. Obviously, plugs. Anything you want. We know KMJ. You can find you. Anyone is in Fresno doesn't know you, then whatever. But things that are passionate to you.
Please give money to the SPCA. Thank you very much.
Okay. And time for the awards.
I got a plug, actually.
Oh, God.
And it's
damn
not
it.
rugby.
Go.
That's me after you.
Don't I get an intro?
No.
Go.
Tomorrow night at Shanty's, they're going to be doing a open mic with some cash prizes and some giveaways for the audience, and I'm going to be signing up there and doing about 5 minutes on stage. I think the show starts at 7:30, according to this meme. I'm correct. So get to that. That's at Fresno and Shaw. What does it say? $3.75 each Shaw. And I think it's over like where the Lions restaurant used to be. I'm dated myself as well. And then Frank's Place every Friday, actually. I think it's right next to Warner's Theater.
Yep.
It's going to be they're doing shows at 8 o'clock and April 29th.
They're finally doing something there. Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
April 29th.
Nice little venue.
I'm doing a 15-minute set at the end of the month. And that'll be pretty good, too. So,
We need to do a 2-hour set here every Wednesday. So.
Oh, can I plug my gig?
Yes.
April 22nd, Tower Theater, Appletones, and Wine Tea. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Gotta plug out,
and I'll send you the bill. Kenneth, ready?
Did he say wine tea?
Sure I do.
Y&T.
And,
Name of a very famous band from a few years back.
She's from Avenel.
Oh.
I just heard wine.
Yeah, she likes
I thought
wine.
I heard wine.
She's all about alcohol.
You're from there.
It's short for yesterday and today, which turned out to be a real crappy name, so they abbreviated it.
All right, Kenneth, give it.
Hey guys, we have the Tardies tonight, and we have plenty of awards to give out. But first, we start with the hashtag of the night, and I have a lot of hashtags here from tonight. Some of them were mentioned, some were made up on the fly. We have, of course, DDPLive, Make Fresno Better. And then we have some lesser known and some better known ones. We have hashtag Captain Math. We have Thug Life Cuddy. We have Longbox Beer. We're staring at you, Dan. We have hashtag Sob Story, followed by hashtag Shut Up. And we also have hashtag Lecture Lights, which was just said. But we also have two hashtags, which I almost tied together. We have hashtag Enchiladas and hashtag Dan's Kickstand. I'm going to have to go with hashtag Enchiladas as the winner of hashtag of the night.
You ate food tonight, and you still go to food.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is that impossible to believe?
Keep going.
By the way, thank you, Roll One, for me. We had lots of your sushi tonight. But anyway, we have Worst Joke of the Night, which actually goes to Molestar. FM said F that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, jackass.
By the way, Ray, Kenneth is our Make-A-Wish Foundation.
It's apparent.
So, yeah.
Very apparent.
Speaking of which, we have the most horrible human award, the Dowdy Award. And it goes to, well, who else does it go to? It goes to Dowdy for killing Ray's fun by being born.
Jeez. That didn't come from me, by the way.
My bad.
We have a best moment of the night, and I think that goes to Rainbow Longbox. We take it any way we can. That goes to both Kevin and Dan.
I got worst and best.
And it's Joy.
Yes. We have a MVP of the night, but I want to throw in a plug real quick. Fresno Rugby has its last home game of the season.
Nice sneak.
Fresno Rugby has its last home of the game of the season at Holman Park, which is off of Sierra and West. We face
rugby's cool.
It is.
Not with Kenneth.
Screw you. So we play San Jose Rugby at 1 o'clock, and we have MVP of the night, and that surprisingly goes. Wait for it. To Christopher Dowdy.
What?
For keeping his heart on for Ray under the table.
Thank God he did that.
Well, I don't think you've ever won that.
Top that, Mr. Master of Ceremonies.
I don't know what to say.
I think he's sweating.
No, that's his medicine.
That's his heart on.
Well, this works.
Wait.
Apropos.
Shh, my minute.
I believe it's an uninterrupted
It's an uninterrupted minute. then.
Shut up. God damn it. Ray, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's a lot of fun.
For me, for a guy who's wanted to do radio since just a little bit ago when I was working in a pizza place and some guy told me I should do it because I'm dumb. It's great to be from somebody who's at a pinnacle of Fresno radio to sit in my house. That's a huge, huge thing. The other thing is I'm very, very happy that all of my crew got to have a minute, have a night to hang out with Ray. I know most of you guys don't know who he is. But feel free, please, to give your judgments in any way possible on all of my crew. I'll fire whoever you want.
Please fire me.
It's a fine bunch.
Fire Dowdy because
Fire
that
Chris
wasn't
Dowdy.
even into the. Like,
Shut
what
up.
were you doing there? Seriously.
Shut up. I don't ever get to win.
You don't know how to do it. That's why.
It's hard to fill a minute, isn't it?
This is your girlfriend telling
That's
you
what
you
she
don't know
said.
how to do it. Boy, that's a little too much information.
It's all right. I think he's heard it before.
We talked about the kickstand earlier, the medication for the my fake cancer. Morning wood is really proof of life. And it's a sad time when you don't have it for the first time.
It's really sad when it goes away, which is about age 57 for me. And
It was 33 for him.
It was last year for Dowdy.
That's because he's got a small caliber pistol.
Well, let's go ahead and end this show. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. Next week we got the synth pop band Personal Computer coming up. We got Cockamamie Jamie with his CD release coming at the end of April. We've got District 6. They're going to be doing a debate, all that stuff.
oh, you're going to love
Longbox.
Gary Bredefeld.
I'm looking
You and
forward
him are
all
going to
of them.
become best buddies.
I feel there's sarcasm there.
Nope.
Well, with that, I'm going to say to everyone in the group, everybody listening online, thanks for tuning in. And this is Dowdy saying, word.
Thanks, Riley.
Is it everything you expected?
Good job being born.
Say what?
Great.
Was it everything
Fuck up
you
someone's
expected?
life. Great.
No, it's fine.
Someone jumped into the YouTube chat like super last minute, and all they said was penis.
Internet.
Alex?
Nope.
Penis.
Alex, let me get a picture.
I'm not
everyone.
on the YouTube chat.
Give me good lighting.
Hold on.
Get your Riley's up.
God, what a celebrity. Give me good lighting.
I need my Riley's corpses.
Yeah. Second, I gotta get you guys glass. This is.
I have one from when I worked at Martin's.
I like your new
so.
ones. You know, I've got some mugs. Let's see if I still got the big beer mugs. All right.
See, the one I have is just
Hey,
the pint glass that you guys had for Steal the Glass.
Is that enough?